very difficult because other people have the same skill. So, that's kind of where I wanted to go with this conversation from here, is to ask you, right, from someone who understands the industry, someone who also understands how technology like we have today, right? Digital streaming being one, but also sort of the cryptocurrency world as well. Like, what drove you to choose Cardano as a platform to really build this ecosystem out? What went into that decision?
Yeah. So, and full disclosure, for those of you that are wondering, I reached out to you, probably a year ago, I think,
Yeah,
almost a year
a
ago,
year or more. Yeah.
to just kind of get your thoughts on this. And we were, chatting because there, at the time, right, things in the space have changed significantly in a
Yeah.
year. That's like a decade in crypto time, right? But anyway, so I think you can go strictly to and look at, for example, prime real world use case. Jacob Collier, who's a big musician, he
Yeah.
tried to mint an NFT. It was I hate this. I hate NFT when people in the mainstream think of an NFT as just a JPEG on a chain. That's just so low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, right? But he tried to do that, right? He took a picture of his DAW session and a high resolution photo and then wanted to mint it, right?
Hmm.
And now he got slammed because of the quote carbon footprint. And we can have a whole discussion about quantity of electricity versus quality of electricity,
Hmm.
right? We know this, it's much more nuanced. But
Yeah.
if you look at the cost benefit to mint an NFT, or another example, Pokemon, like the NFT game Pokemon,
Hmm.
right? How did they get around this? They didn't want to actually mint them because it would cost you at the current when they were really big, it was costing you more money to mint them than it did for you to buy them in the first place.
Yeah.
That's a problem, right? And so on Cardano, you can mint, right, however many tokens. I think you can mint I think someone minted 5 million tokens and they pay $5.
Yeah.
Um, right. So just without getting any technical, just the cost benefit of being able to mint an NFT or a token, right, a native asset token, um, is significantly cheaper, right? That's the
Yeah.
first thing. Two, like we said, it's on the base layer. It's not functioning as an actual smart contract. So it's nothing computational power, yada, yada, yada. We already know that spiel. So we wanted the front end. Here's another thing, right? If in DeFi, yes, smart contracts, if there's a flaw in them or something, or typically it's in liquidity, right? People lose a lot of money. And yes, there are repercussions for that. But if you have an issue with this, if there's an issue in the code and someone has like it's a copyright essentially or something like that, then that opens you up to a lot of other legal problems. So
Hmm.
we want assurances that whenever we're deploying, short, concise code bits, that we know what we're going to get,
Hmm.
right? And so that's one of the other reasons why we chose Ada for the front end. Now, you can also we're going to be utilizing essentially concatenated tokens, so parent and child tokens,
Right.
to help with the distribution of the royalties. And so we're doing that. Now, I will say, I think the future is interoperability between blockchains.
For sure.
And to me, I love what we're doing because we're actually going to be utilizing a tech stack on our back end with an Ethereum project.
Nice.
So it's going to be Cardano and Ethereum, and specifically, it's going to be storage.
Great.
So storage, yeah, that's going to be our storage solution. And the reason being, for those of you wondering if you're on the Cardano family, there is no solution being built on Cardano right now. There was a D Cloud submission, but that didn't get funded, unfortunately. So we
Hmm.
had to go another avenue, right? So that's essentially why we chose what we did, right?
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, without
Yeah.
getting too much more into the weeds on it. So
I mean, you know my feelings on this, right? Being a fan of Cardano, hence why I've spent the last several weeks, recording Cardano focused projects, project highlights, right, to show what's being built in the space. But obviously, it's no secret that I've done a lot of work in the Ethereum space. I'm still a supporter of Ethereum, and I think the two can coexist. I think
yes,
more projects need to spend time focusing on how their solutions are complementary because they're very different, right? Design decisions that were made in one protocol versus another have trade-offs, and that means that they fit together like puzzle pieces in a broader ecosystem. So I think it's fantastic that you're taking that approach and looking at the best tool for the job where you are
Yeah.
today.